got a new pole sitter. He comes from the land of the rising sun, but the Russians aren't too far away. They dominated the WSK Final Cup and they are in force. We'll take a look at the grid for you in just a moment, but before we do, let's take a look at some of the highlights of 60 Mini thus far this weekend at Adria Karting Raceway. From Novosibirsk in Siberia in the north of Russia, Dmitry Matveev. He was the fastest qualifier on Friday, the time of 54.783. You ride on board with the Pole Jan Sharovsky. A battle between the Russians and the Poles pretty much all weekend. That's Maciej Gladic. He was fastest in the third group of qualifying and took a couple of heat wins as well, looking to take the title for Poland and Paralin. Marcus Sata, he was fastest in his group of qualifying, flying the flag for the Energy Course racing team. We'll start the final on the third row of the grid in a few moments' time. German Fotiv, also from Russia, also in an energy kart, taking his final heat win under lights last night at this incredible complex that is Adria International Raceway. The Tony Karts, they are still there. Jan Pulchui, Alexander Bondarev. But the Energies, the Paralins, and even the Formula K have Geta Samskulanov, who missed taking the victory on the final lap. You look at the 5.60 Formula K, he took the lead with a lap to go 7 days ago, only to throw it into the grass and finish a heartbreaking second. 60cc Mini here at the world-class Adria Karting Raceway. This is the WSK Supermasters Series, the first round for 2020. 87 drivers. We already raced Final B this morning, which was won for the second week in a row by Tiziano Monza of Singapore. As you look at Kim Nakamura, the Serbian, Japanese, English driver for Team Chetila Racing, on pole position. The KR powered by the IAMI. TM's ubiquitous in the field, powering Anatoly Kavalkin, the Russian, who starts out at grid number 2. From Moscow, the city that hosted the 1980 Olympic Games, well before Anatoly was even conceived, that is Geta Samskulanov in the Formula K Cup. Second row of the grid, looking to take the victory this afternoon after he came so close last weekend. The Knight Rider replica from the Czech Republic, no stickers on the kart of Jindřich Pešel, but the TM-powered Paralin 566 that was quick this morning. And he may well take the victory this afternoon for the Czech Republic. Starts on the second row of the grid, German Fotiv, another of the Russians. There he is. Just look for the plain white helmet when we get underway and race over 10 laps. Starts alongside his Energy Course teammate, Marcus Sata from Oslo in Norway. All Energies on the third row of the grid. The Russians, remember the WSK Final Cup right here at Adria to end 2019. The Russians were first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, then seventh. And then last weekend, the WSK Champions Cup, the Russians won it with Anatoly Kavalkin, who is to the right of your screen in the 529 Paralin. Just a few moments away from the start here at Adria Karting Raceway. Over 10 laps, 231 drivers in just the 3 categories. KZ will join us for the second round of the series in 3 weeks' time at South Garda Karting. You know that is the center of the karting universe. Lonato, copyright, trademark. See you at Lonato in 3 weeks' time, where KZ will join us for the second round of the 2020 WSK Supermaster Series. There is German Fotiv. Third row of the grid, just behind is the reigning WSK Supermaster Series champion from Abu Dhabi in the Emirates, Rashid Al-Dahedi. Third last weekend in the Champions Cup, won his final heat last night under lights on a damp cold track. As the green flag flies, Rashid will start on the fourth row of the grid, which we will take a look at now for you. Kin Nakamura from Japan on pole position with Anatoly Falcon on the outside of the front row of the grid. Then it's Skulinov in the Formula K, Jindrik Peschel in the Knight Rider replica, and then it's the energy carts of German Fortev, Marcus Sata on the third row. Rashid Al-Daheri, yes, he is the reigning Supermaster Series champion. Matviv the Siberian, Jimmy Halias, Jimmy Le Fantastic, the young protege of Esteban Ocon himself, who's watching our broadcast live this afternoon. Bonjour, Esteban. Bienvenue at Adria. Jimmy is alongside the kid from California, Kai Sorensen, Gladic, Kieran Tis, Nice, Chewy, Peter Butzinellis, Valerio Proietti, the Chinese-born Australian Griffin Peebles, Bondarev from Ukraine. Then it's Clement Altin and the second-generation racer from Zandvoort, Rene Lammers. The boy from Brazil, Miguel Costa, who has more than 130,000 followers on Instagram, is alongside the young Turk from Istanbul, Alp Aksoy, for Team Baby Race. Hidej Kastelic, Kasprički, Giacomo Pedrini for Team Newman Motorsport. Skulac from over the border in Slovenia, Francesco Amendola. Enya Frey, Aditya Weboyo from Jakarta, Indonesia. Matic Presha from Florida, USA, James Agozzi. Simone Bianco, 532. Yes, he's on the back of the grid, but he has been so quick throughout all the heats. Didn't qualify so well, but the 532 CRG will be one to reckon with over the remaining 10 laps. In the final spot, it's the boy from Bangkok, Thailand, Enzo Tavanishkul. Welcome to Adria. Welcome to round one of the WSK Supermaster Series. 4 rounds for 2020. From here we go to South Garda Karting Lonato on the 23rd of February, the 8th of March at La Conca Muro Lecce World Circuit, and then March 22nd at Circuito Internazionale Napoli Sarno on the 22nd of March, which is a week before we kick off the 2020 WSK Euro Series, once again at Napoli. As ever, Ian Silvestri, your commentator for this, the 60 mini final. The boy from the land of the rising sun, Kin Nakamura from Japan on pole position. We race. Jindrik Peschel on the outside. He has been hung out to dry. Kin Nakamura leads the field down into turn number 1. Gerasam Skulinov, he's the top Russian at the moment. That is the bottle green Formula K in second place. Oh, that's the bottle green Formula K in first place, because Skulinov slides down the inside and takes the lead before we end the first lap. The Russians continue to dominate. Here at Adria Karting Raceway, German Fortev, his countryman, in second place. It's been a disastrous start for Kin Nakamura. There he is in third place, and he's being hounded by you-know-who, Rashid Al-Daheri. The Emirati, he's now up into third immediately, gets by German Fortev. Nakamura has recovered quite quickly. He's into second place. That's the second energy cart of the Norwegian Marcus Sata. Skulinov, Nakamura, Rashid, Fortev, Sata. Anatoly Falcon back to 6, head of Jindrik Peschel, who goes down the inside, trying to defend from Jimmy Le Fantastique de Paris en France. Jimmy takes Jindrik. The Tony Kart moves up a place. Look at them scatter just behind. Bondarev, Lenise, Kai Sorensen, Tis Kieran for Team Pantano. Alexander Bondarev and Lenise worst caught out in that. Alexander punches the steering wheel and continues on, but he's in stone motherless last. The chances of him taking the victory now are 0. The Ukrainian down in 34th as the Emirati goes into second place. This mega international field here in the north of Italy, the Russian from the Emirati, then it's the Japanese driver in third. Yet another Russian in fourth in German Fortev. Marcus Sata. Here's the energy cart trying to make his way through up onto the podium. Maciej Gladic, there he is, the pole. 5-3-1, he's back in ninth, but he's the fastest driver on the circuit, trying to join in for this battle for the lead. Fotev having to defend. Here's the Russian in the energy cart. Dmitry Matveev, the Siberian, he's way back in position 11. Rashid goes through and takes the lead. German Skulinov tries to fight back. So it'll be the end of lap number 3. It is Rashid Al-Daheri in the Paralin. Second place, Gerasam Skulinov goes down the inside, takes the lead, and Kin Nakamura follows him through. Rashid looks behind him. There is Marcus Sata trying to get up onto the podium for the first time in his WSK career. Rashid fights back. The two drivers from Asia, second and third. But it is Gerasam in the Formula K. Remember, 7 days ago, he fought his way into the lead, took the lead from Anatoly Kavalkin on the last lap, only to throw it into the grass, coming onto the straight and finish a heartbreaking second. He will not make the same mistake twice. He leads the field here this afternoon. Kin Nakamura glued to the back of the Formula K. He looks behind him. There is Rashid. Marcus on the back of the reigning WSK Supermasters Series champion. Rashid, by his lofty standards, finished a disappointing third. Remember, he dominated last year, taking the Supermasters Series and the Euro Series, and now he's just been passed by Marcus Sata. He's now the top energy cart. Kin Nakamura in the KR machine in second. The Formula K leads the way. Fotev back to 5, ahead of Gladic, who is carving through the pack. Now he's up to 6th. He's got past Helios, Matveev, Kavalkin back to 9th, and Tiskiran driving for the former European champion, Formula 1 Grand Prix driver, Giorgio Pantano in 10th place. L'Autodromo, the race car circuit of Adria in the background. This incredible complex built at the end of 2014 seems like yesterday as we race into the 15th year of WSK promotion, the 11th year of the WSK Supermaster Series. There is Skulinov leading the way, but not for long, because Kin Nakamura fights back. He took 3 heat wins throughout Friday and Saturday. He won the pre-final. Gerasam, determined to take the victory, fights back and takes the lead. Half race distance. What's Rashid? Down the inside, and Nakamura back to P3. The first 7, there is nothing in them. Nothing between them, I should say. That's Elias in 7th place in the Tony Kart. The Parisian driver, personally coached by Esteban Ocon, who lines up for the Formula 1 World Championship season opener in Melbourne next month for the Renault team alongside Daniel Ricciardo. Jimmy has done thousands upon laps, thousands upon laps. You know what I mean. He's gone wheel to wheel with Esteban, who's coached him back home in France, flying the flag for Tony Kart, and he is the top French driver. Jimmy Helios in this freight train still. The race is wide open, 4 laps to go, this 10-lap final, the first round of the WSK Supermaster Series. Nakamura slips back, he's now off the podium. Oh, a big crash! Nakamura is out! Comes together with Fotev, German Fotev, and Kin Nakamura come together. Rashid, you know who, now closes in on the back of Gerasam Skulinov. Nakamura and German Fotev are out. Wow, German does continue on, but he's lost a ton of time. Now starting, or trying to defend from Kai Sorensen, Indri Peschel, Mark Castellic, Valerio Proietti, Butzinellis and Griffin Peebles, the 2 Australians, ahead of Miguel Costa. German Fotev coming together with Kin Nakamura, who's had a brilliant weekend thus far, but it comes to an end now. Local yellow for the Japanese driver. He steps out of the Chetila racing cart. He is okay. And now with 2 laps remaining, Gerasam Skulinov with the reigning WSK Supermasters Series champion from Abu Dhabi in the Emirates, closing in on the back of him. Third place is the Pole, Maciej Gladic. In the opening stages of this race, he's in position 9, and he's still in with a shot at victory this afternoon. Jimmy Halias one step off the podium. Here's Jimmy Le Fantastique. He's in 4th place in the Tony Kart. Gerasam Skulinov, absolutely determined. Looks over his right shoulder. Gerasam, I can tell you, Rashid is still right there and he's not going anywhere. In fact, he goes down the inside. The Emirati, the reigning champion, takes the lead with less than 2 laps remaining. Maciej Gladic, the pole. Can he take the victory? Around the outside, he tries to line them up. Cuts back on the inside. Gerasam Skulinov will not flinch down the inside. Tries to take Rashid as they come onto the straight. Rashid's father, Ali, with us last weekend, watching on nervously from home. His boy leads with a lap remaining. Skulinov does not want to finish in P2 for the 2nd week in a row. Watch them down into turn 3. That's Gladic, the 3rd generation racer from Poland. His father, Adam, his grandfather, Janusz, watching on live here, trackside at Adria. He sweeps around the outside, but runs off the track. Oh, controversy as he takes the lead. Rashid will not tolerate that. Watch Skulinov on the outside, and here comes Jimmy. Jimmy up into P3. Troisième place for Jimmy Halias. But Gerasam Skulinov finished 2nd last week. He will make no mistake this afternoon. The ruthless racing Russian will win the 1st round of the WSK Supermaster Series for WSK in Formula K. Kavalkin, can you believe it, has made it a Russian 1 and 2. Jimmy Halias on the podium is the boy from Paris in France. What a finish. Matvi 4, Rashid 5. And incredibly, German fought back after that contact with Nakamura that had eliminated the Japanese driver. He finished in 6th place, ahead of Maciej Gladic, who was 7th. What a finish. Skulinov wins for Formula K. The Russians won last week the Champions Cup with Anatoly Kavalkin. They finished first through to 7th in the final cup at the end of 2019. And again, they have won for the 3rd race in a row. The final cup in 2019, the Russians won 1st through to 7th. Last weekend, the Champions Cup, they won with Anatoly Kavalkin. He finishes 2nd today. The positions are reversed. Huge congratulations to Gerasam Skulinov. Takes the victory, and with that, almost certainly the championship lead into the 2nd round at South Garda Karting Lonato in 3 weeks' time. In fact, I can tell you he's on 78 points. Kavalkin 2nd on 69 points as we look at the results. Look at the Russian flags. 1st, 2nd, 4th, and 6th. Skulinov wins here this afternoon. Kavalkin, Halias in 3rd place. Jimmy Le Fantastique. Matviv in position 4 from Rashid. Fortev, Gladic, the kid from California. Kai comes home P8 from Mark Kastelic. And all the way from the land down under, huge congratulations to Peter Butsinellis, who finishes in 10th place. What a race here this afternoon. The WSK Supermaster Series. We've got a new winner, but he comes from the country whose national anthem we hear oh so often here in WSK. Gerasam Skulinov, the Russian, wins the 1st round of the Supermaster Series. And with that, we will go to the podium presentation in just a moment. You are watching us live on WSK.it. Podium presentation 460 Mini with the Russian national anthem to ring out here at Adria in just a moment. A brilliant start to the WSK Supermaster Series. We started with 87 drivers, down to 68, down to 34. This is the final 3. Troisième place pour Jimmy Halias. He finished on the top step 7 days ago. He still makes the podium, but is positioned to another brilliant drive for the Russian, Anatoly Kavalkin. He finished a heartbreaking second 7 days ago, no mistake. Here today for Formula K, the winner of the first round, the WSK Supermaster Series. Yes, it's another Russian. Get us some Skulinov! The third place trophy to Jimmy Helias of La France. Second place to the Russian Anatoly Kavalkin. This time he wins it. Get us up, Skulinov! And once again, the national anthem of Russia. The podium for 60cc Mini here at Adria. Third place, Jimmy Helias of France. Second place, Anatoly Kavalkin. And taking the series lead into South Garda Karting Lonato on the 23rd of February. Yes, he's done it. Get us up, Skulinov. Stay with us. You're watching us live on WSK.it. The OK Final live from Adria in just a moment.